Is it on go or is it on 3 or is it on 1?
Problematic.
I'm Marqueeze.
Problematic. Problematic. Cookout podcast. Here, Sito in the building. Problematic.
It's your boy Juju.
Problematic. Cookout podcast. Problematic.
Yo, what did my man just say then?
Problematic.
Yo, you're listening to Mr. Rock.
Problematic. Cookout podcast.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Problematic Cookout. I'm Marqueeze.
It's your boy Juju.
Sito's in the building.
Rock, aka Mr. Rock.
And we are so glad to have you tuning in to us again, pulling up to the Problematic Cookout. And as we told you on the last episode, we're going to be doing a little intro series so you can get to know a little bit about who we are and what we do. And first up, obviously, will be yours truly. So I hope you brought your appetite so you just kick back, relax, and listen to what we got to say. So since the last episode, since the last time we talked, boys, what you guys been up to? I feel like y'all been up to a lot. For example, Juju, I heard you trying to turn to the next Tiger Woods, huh?
Bro, I've been the next Tiger Woods, man. Like I've been on my little golf swing. You feel
You
me?
got to tell us a little bit more about that.
You know, like I've been. Hey, the key thing is like you got to come out there with the fits, because then they don't realize how bad your game is. You know, it's really a fashion statement.
Because you look too fresh, huh?
Be rolling up onto the green with the J's on and shit. That's what you're doing?
But yeah, no, I like the game. I've always liked the game. So I actually worked on a golf course when I was younger, but I've always been like so in and out. So the thing I always say about golf is like you enjoy the game until you actually get there, and then you're like 5-6 holes in, and then you realize like, damn, I'm really bad, and it's a whole like 4-hour event that I just signed up for, and it just gets long, man. Then you start losing some balls and all that. You're like, oh man. Like I know I got to buy more ball. Like it just gets expensive. So yeah, I don't play too often, but you know it's a great Instagram flex. So what's up?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's where I saw it. I was like, this guy's about to be the next Tiger Woods. I may as well buy in my stock right now, because when he blows up, yo,
Exactly,
Throw
bro.
all bets on Juju.
You know what I mean? That's cool, bro. What about you, Sid? Last time we talked, actually, you told me you got some of the sniffles going. I was just wondering to make sure, are you okay?
Yeah,
Should we
your
call
boy.
the CDC? What's going on?
Your boy is back in the game. I got my halls on deck. You know, just
Okay,
you know,
okay.
I ain't got no cold anymore. You know, the sniffles are gone. I haven't coughed in a while. I'm good. I'm all right.
Right.
I'm chilling.
Okay, that's good.
Don't
That's
get a
good.
haircut yet, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it yet.
Right.
Don't go to barber shop.
Yeah, because actually no, that's gonna leave you looking a little mangled for the season. I don't know. You might want to get a little lineup going.
I mean, I might invite the barber directly to my house and infect my whole house, but we'll see what happens.
Man, they are taxing though to go to people's houses.
Oh, yeah.
Like I heard my barber, he was telling me about some of the prices he charging people to go to their house. I'm like, hey, you really got to want to cut.
Yo, someone should actually make an app for that, like where it's like find the nearest barber near you, kind of like an Uber, and then you just
Uber
like
type
pick it,
of, yeah.
and then you
For
just
real,
pick
though.
it, and like it finds the closest guy, and he comes to your house and does your hair. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a good
But
idea.
y'all trust everybody with your hair like that? I gotta go to one guy and
This
one guy
was
only.
one guy, bro. I
Yeah.
can't go to no one else.
I can't trust nobody, the nearest barber to just come and touch my hair.
Word.
Yeah, I got a story about one of them times.
Yeah.
Then someone, your hairline? Yo, this guy messed up my hairline, man. I didn't even ape in the place.
Had to throw some
Yeah.
ginkgo biloba on that bad boy to bring it back.
That's what I'm saying, man. But it's kind of my fault, though. You know, I went to a Greek barber for some
Oh
stupid reason.
man, come on, bro.
I needed,
you know better.
You know when you need to trim?
Like
Like
Giannis
the
Green.
Yeah.
lines and the seat areas is like you have to wait too long. I was like, I'm gonna go over here, and then
this-
but
Yeah.
you know, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn. That's the best. I mean,
stayed
As a
home
black
that week.
man, we all been there, man. Where
yeah,
you
we
like,
all been there.
if you move, especially like think about like if you move to a new city and you don't know the place like that, and if you can't Google a barber, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything else, like you can just type it on Google. Where's the nearest this? Where's the nearest that place to eat? You can't Google a barber because like it's just gonna pull up the like you said, the Greek
First choice hair
barbershops.
cutters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or what's that place in the US called, like First Cut, First Clip, something like that. That's like
I don't
everywhere.
even know what you're talking about, bro.
But yeah, so
It's the reason why we
I
don't
know.
know.
exactly.
Yeah.
But like we can't Google a good like barbershop that could cut black
And
hair.
That's what's crazy actually, because once I moved out west, so we'll get into that a little bit later on. One of the things I needed was a barber, and it was so hard to find one. I'm here googling black barber in my area.
Pull up the
that when
Yelp
I moved to
review.
Toronto.
You know what I mean? Like, but actually, what I found very interesting is that a lot of these barbershops or shops got Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
pages.
That's what helps now. Yeah.
So like, let's say it's like a white barber or whatever, you can go on their Instagram page and just check to see if they cut any black hair recently.
Yeah.
You know what? we can give this a shot.
I'll give that a try.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Sid, yo, we're glad you okay, bro.
Yep. I made it.
Yeah, man.
All right. And what about you, Rock? I guess what I want to know is since you're working from home, you know, you cut your commute time, you don't have to commute anymore, so you can spare, you know, like an hour or two in your day. What TV shows are you jumping on, bro? Like since you don't rate Top Boy, I gotta know what you really want to watch.
Yeah, you know, when you're in the UK, you live there, so it's nothing to watch. But at home, I'm YouTubing, and I'm the biggest geek, which you'll find out later on. So I'm always watching something about technology, you know, anything new that's coming out, anything that I'm trying to buy. You know, I watch like 50 videos to make sure I'm buying the right thing. So recently, you know, just bought a new DSLR camera and whatnot. So most of my time was spent, you know, just looking at how, you know, to find the correct one for me and within the right price range, and then buying it, and then, you know, messing around with it and filming and doing this, that, and the other, and, you know, trying to do some home videos, you know, the wholesome type of home videos, just before anybody starts thinking anything different. So yeah, you know, you watch the space, you see some stuff coming through.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna hit you up when I need those, you know, those candid shots that you need for the Instagram posts and
Make
stuff.
sure you roll up with your credit card or your cash.
Oh, me.
You know,
That's
I
how it
always
is.
want something for free.
as they say, pay like you weigh, man. So
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
oh, good.
But damn, Rock, you really gonna charge me for a pic, bro?
Hey, that's how it is, man. You gotta pay like you weigh. You know, if you're making something, I gotta make something too. So
Hey, support
so,
black businesses, dog.
Hey, you know.
Right.
Hey, we gotta live it.
That word.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my end, bro, I've been chilling. Actually, more recently, I've been getting to the Kijiji game, where you go browse Kijiji and try to find things on the low, see what you can buy. More
Is that
recently,
really
actually,
a Kijiji game? Like, is that a thing? Like,
I've never heard of this. Kijiji.
what?
What is
Yeah,
this?
so I think it's a Canadian thing, right?
What is this?
Oh, is it
Kijiji
Canadian?
you
I thought
speak
it
of?
was all over.
nah,
I
it's like
never heard of
Craigslist.
that.
Canadian.
Oh, word. Well, so anyway, so it's a site where you can buy secondhand stuff.
It's same thing as Craigslist. The exact
Same
same
thing
Okay.
as Craigslist.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
I
Whoa,
think
whoa,
it's just
kind
like-
of.
What you
Kind
mean?
of. There's certain things you can't get on Kijiji that you can get on Craigslist. So
Like
yeah.
what? For real?
Like what?
Yo, you can get everything on Craigslist.
Listen, everything.
Everything.
Trust me, everything.
Everything.
Like, they got what I need, and I found it.
They got what you
Alright,
don't need too.
Yeah, exactly.
So the one thing I needed actually was I needed a printer. Actually, that's one thing I kind of overlooked. Now that I'm working from home, I don't have access to a printer. I don't know about you guys, but people think they don't print a lot of things, but I think it's just more convenient when you're at work, because then you just use the work printer.
Yeah.
So I found that I actually needed to print a couple things, and now that we're working from home, it wasn't working out. So I went on Kijiji to look for a secondhand printer. So I ended up messaging this one person. She had a printer on there for $25. I was like, "Yo, this is a steal." About to drop $25, print to my heart's content, So I hit this lady up. We agreed on the price, $25. I went over to the house to pick it up. And when I got there, I found that it was an old lady. She's just trying to get rid of stuff because she was moving. And I was like, hey, man, that's cool. I'll give you the $25. I mean, this helps me. It also helps you. You get rid of something you don't really use.
Yeah.
So I brought it home, hooked it up, and I'm like, okay, time to print this stuff. And turns out, of all things, the black ink does not work.
But ain't it that like when the black ink don't work, like the color ink won't work either, right?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy about this one actually is the colored ink worked, but the black ink did not work. So I was like, okay, maybe it's the ink cartridge. So I checked on like the settings or whatever. It still had a little bit in there, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go buy another one. So I go to the store, and ink cartridges cost a lot of money. I don't know if
they ain't cheap. Yeah,
they ain't cheap, and I'm like, that's where they get you. So I went and copped the ink cartridge. I bring it back. I plug it in. I'm like, all right, we're straight. I get my little Word documents ready. Click print. Still nothing happens, and I'm like, bruh, like, what was the point of this? I just lost $25.
The old lady finesse Marqueeze. Dude,
I was so upset. I'm like, it's only $20, but I was hurt. I was like, this
she
old lady
finessed our
me.
man.
So how much did you pay for the cartridge?
Cartridge was another $25, bro. It was like a $50 loss. I was upset.
Bro, like, I've seen so many of those. Right, the worst for that is obviously eBay, right? Like, I seen this thing, like, I think it was on social media that said someone ordered some beats off of eBay, and the beats came in the mail, and the box, it had the whole beats box, and inside the box was a note saying, sorry, dog, needed the money.
Yeah.
Bro, I'd be so hot, man. Imagine, because you have to wait too. And then they finally come in the mail.
Anxiously waiting.
Yeah.
And your beats come in.
I brought this up because I was wondering, have you guys ever been scammed on Kijiji or any of these platforms? Or actually, have you guys done the scamming? I know, I just throw that out there.
I know one of my homies done the scamming once. He tried to sell a broken couch, but the person that bought it, I think, was blind. So they didn't realize it was broke until like it got delivered or whatnot. And my friend already had the money. And the person emailed him back me like, "Is this your idea of a sick joke or something like that?" I couldn't with that, man.
Oh, that's dirty, man. That is dirty.
Yeah. Over you guys, man. Sid, you ever had any of that happen to you?
I don't know, man. I try to be squeaky clean over here. I think I've been scammed. I just can't think of the story right now. But yeah,
true.
It'll come up in a future podcast.
Fair enough. What about you, Rock?
Yeah, nah, I've never been scammed.
Yeah. So
I can't say I've never scammed anybody in my life.
But some of them are still waiting to find out. So we
hope they don't tune in. So after that happened, man, like the next day I was just sitting at my desk and I'm like, oh, man, I'm upset. I wanted to print this stuff. So I started looking for another printer, and then I find one. It was like $50 or whatever. I messaged that person and I let them know, yo, I need to cop this printer, but it better work because like I've already been scammed before.
That's $100 now, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I need you to bring that to my house. Let me test it first before I pay you the money. The guy's like, all right, whatever. So that was all good on that end. But I still felt salty about that $25 I spent. So I messaged that person who sold it to me, and I messaged and I was like, hey man, you sold me this printer and the black ink does not work. I've tried everything. I've tried change the cartridge, this and that, and it doesn't work. So I just hit send, and you know what, whatever. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, whatever. I'm already taking the loss in the 50. But actually, a day later, the person responds to me and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is and that. Like I didn't know it didn't work. I really apologize. Can I e-transfer you your money back? And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, I'll take my money back. So I gave my email. They sent me the $25 back, and I was like, okay, do you want me to give you back your printer? And then she's like, no, just keep it. It's whatever. And I was like, wow, there's actually nice people in this world who actually would.
I was gonna say back. You dealt with a nice one. I would have. I would have ignored you so hard.
I was
you would have never heard of me
if
again.
that was me, I probably would have just deleted blocked whoever was messaging me.
Hella lucky,
just
man.
move on. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. So that was my experience with the Kijiji in the last couple of days, man.
Yeah, you really got to be careful on there. Like, know what you're going for and know how to test it. Like, I've had people, I put stuff on Kijiji and people are like, oh yeah, meet me here and I'll pick it up from your car. I'm like, yo, there's nowhere to plug it in for you to test it.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
how do you know it's going to work? But
Exactly.
luckily I'm a nice guy and it does work. The only thing I can say is probably, I've given someone, I've sold somebody a electrical product with a UK plug on it, but hey.
You probably didn't even let them know until you heard you had it.
You know?
That's
I just needed that adapter to be at home with me, so
That's true, man. But anyways, man, just shifting to different gears here. Have you guys heard about all these parties being thrown? All these kids, it's summertime, the sun's out, people be having pool parties and all of this and that. Actually, more recently in Vancouver, apparently 45 cases of COVID were traced to this one party. And I'm sure in Toronto, people are wilding out. I'm pretty sure I heard of it in Brampton, Ontario, there was a mansion party with like thousands of of guests, or even Juju. I think
One
you
had a
mentioned that
whole
once.
festival.
Yeah, they had a whole festival. What was that? 15,000 people?
15,000 people, but we're in the capital of COVID-19 where it all
Right.
started.
was that 15,000 plus one, Juju?
Oh, me. Because I was like,
Hey,
man,
man.
should like, how they gonna have a whole party and not invite me?
That's the thing, man. I mean, if it wasn't for COVID, we'd all be up in there. But
They're doing something like that in the States too, where all the cover gets pulled up, and whoever got sick first got the COVID money to help them get through it, or whatever the case is. They did that in the States like a few times, and then they got shut down. It was just like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, man, do you guys think there should be more laws implemented to like stop these kind of things, like more policing? Because I know, like, policing is kind of heavy. They have these laws out. They say you can only have a certain amount of people gathering. But do you think the law enforcement should be coming down on these kids so they can just stop doing what they're doing?
Oh no, it's kind of like it's a 50-50 thing. Part of it is yes, and the other side of it is like how the police deal with that. Because I know a few months ago in the UK they had some street parties and stuff like that, and the police got involved and the police got backed up seriously. So how they deal with it, it's got to be a new process and procedure of how they deal with these type of parties. Because at the end of the day, they're getting involved with people that potentially may have COVID, and are they wearing the right personal protection to make sure that they're not getting it, so I don't know. All I know is, say if someone next to me was having a real big party, I'm snitching. I don't care about the G code, because at the end of the day, COVID is real. I'm snitching. If you got more than, I think over here now it's more than 10, was it 20 people? But if I see like 50
100
people.
Is it
Oh,
right
yeah?
now?
Yeah, we up to like 100.
Okay, if I see 101, I'm snitching.
I'm counting every single one of them.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean it's real. And I think that it's kind of amplified because some people would normally go out, right, and they've been like bottled up, and like it's like this, you give them like a finger, they'll take the whole arm, right, like, and you give them a little bit, and they'll be like, oh no, like we got to go all out with it. And as soon as you free up, right, like as soon as they said okay 100, people are like, I know I'm getting every single last 100 people in this house so I can have this party back. But it's tough too because people have been so confined and people have been having a hard time with this and dealing with this in a different way, right? And we keep talking about it, but it's hard because people probably think like, oh, I'm just doing me, right? I'm just doing whatever I need to do around the people that I care about. But the thing is, like, you're walking to this party, you're walking away from this party, you're encountering other people. Next day you're going to the store and stuff like that. So just got to keep being mindful of those people, which is a little sad, but
Right.
Shit.
Wear a mask.
Yeah. But like at the same,
Mask,
man, at what point?
Yeah.
I think that what's frustrating for people is because at first when this started, it was like, bro, like just stay at home for 3 weeks and you're gonna be straight.
Word.
And now it's at the point where like there's no, like, we don't see like we're like, okay, we're waiting for the vaccine, like what is it, right? Like, so it's like people are like, man, forget this, like I'm having my time, right? Like some about to be over and all that. I'm about to do me, because like there's no Like there's no foreseeable future of like, okay, once we get this or like end of the year we're gonna be somewhat back to normal or whatnot.
Right.
So that's what's hard on people, I think.
Yeah. I think one of the things that people need to look at is, I can't remember which comedian it was, but he talked about like, I've got 40 summers left in my life.
Yeah.
I think it was Dave Chappelle. I'm not 100% sure.
Mhm.
But you know, you got to think of it like this. This is one summer that you can put aside
For sure.
and do
That is
something
true.
different.
Yeah.
You know, learn something new. You know, stay within your social bubble, and you know, get to know those people, or you know, do something different. It hasn't got to be like, you know, clubbing and out and about and splashing money here, there, and
Word.
everywhere. You know, you
Word.
can save a lot of money being at home
Mm-hmm.
and get the stuff that you really wanted to get. Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I've been doing. So, you know,
I've been getting my drip. Why don't you get
You know
your
what I'm saying?
drip?
Facts.
I'm ready for
Facts.
next summer. You know.
Yeah, man. I hope everybody listening to this podcast, you know, probably got the same sentiment, and they're, you know, gearing up for 2020. Sorry, 2021.
It's over for 2020, dog.
Down for 2020. Damn, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, speaking of all this irresponsibleness, though, now that we're approaching the later part of the year, it's about to start getting cold. People probably starting to get sick with the, you know, the regular flu rolling around. I feel like it'd be safe to expect a second wave of the Rona, and even if we don't, I actually wanted to just pose a quick question to y'all. What are your top four essentials to have during this COVID season?
Believe it or not, I have to have toilet paper. I gotta get toilet paper, dog. I thought I was smart back in the day because I would always buy the toilet paper by like the big bulk of like 30 or whatever. Because my mom goes through it like clockwork. Like I'm talking like a roll a day kind of thing. Like she just eats through, like it's just crazy, right? So when those people was wilding out and bought all the toilet paper, I thought I was Gucci because I already had my 30 pack, and then lo and behold, I needed to re-up, and I was like, don't do this to me, dog. Like, why are the lines here? Why is all the toilet paper bought? I had to buy like 3 different sets from Amazon to see if they come in at different times before they get here. I need the toilet paper, bro.
You need to tell, but other than you know, sanitary essentials, what else you think you need?
Okay, so my girl's gonna be watching this, so obviously my girl is the first thing.
I'll keep it PG. I need some liquor. Definitely need some drinks.
Word.
Yeah, because you need that occasional sip, man. I used to be in the bar all the time, and now I'm home. I'm like, I might as well get my sip on. I'm here, you know, little
Right.
drinky drink.
Right.
I can't think of 2 other things. You might have to come back to me on that.
Word.
I
What
think
about you, Juju?
bro,
What do you think you need?
Yo, like Rock, you not wrong, man. Like I feel like I mean I might need to get serious about finding someone in my life, bro.
What?
Like, bro, if we have to do another wave of this, like I can't do this shit alone again, man.
Yo, the whole audience just gasped as you said that.
Yeah,
What I'm saying is, don't choose the wrong one, man. It'll be some
Mr.
hard
Bumble?
times. Boy.
Right.
Almost giving it up.
Like, bro, like I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could do this thing alone again, like sitting in my room by myself all day long. But I think that, like, as far as like setup, like I feel like with all this, you know, got computer, you know, a mic and everything. I think that if we went through the phase, I would just really get even like more serious about this podcast. You know, like try to do even more about it, try to do even more with it, and like so I feel like I have everything I need to like really make it through. And last time what really the focus was for us is how can we take advantage of it, right? And turn it into something positive. So if there was a phase 2, although I don't want it, I don't want another phase, but if there was, I think that it will be just another wave of like, hey, let's take advantage of this thing.
Word.
Yep.
And I need a bot to get those sneakers because I can't miss on
Yo,
more
bruh.
sneakers.
Drops.
Man.
Drops,
Like,
drops, eh?
there's too many good drops the
Bruh.
rest of the year.
When
So
them stores closed and the sneaker was releasing, I was like, previously, you knew what you was doing Friday,
Exactly.
Saturday morning, right? You was going to the store, and then the stores were closed. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go online, and then you went online, and then you're sitting there, and it's like you can't get online, you can't get in the queue, and
Right.
by the time you try to select a shoe and you put it in your basket and you're about to pay for it, it's
That
not
thing
available.
gone, yeah.
Like, so what's
Gone,
going
yeah.
on? What's going on? Weekends were destroyed because of that.
Exactly. And that used to
But-
be my life, like chasing raffles and chasing everything on the big drop weekend. But now I'm
Exactly.
just, like,
Me and you be
sitting-
messaging each other.
Yeah.
You getting those this weekend? It's
Exactly.
Like, yeah. And then by 12 o'clock, yo, did you get them shoes? Nah. I'm like, no, me neither, bro.
I'm still waiting in line, man. And
The
then by
sneakerhead
now-
industry must have taken a hit.
Yo.
Nah, they just sold out even quicker, bro.
I was gonna
that's
say, for them, for the sneakers, they have no worries. They're selling them, but it's all going to like one person that bought this bot and has like 50 of them sneakers, at their
Yeah.
house, and then they're reselling them for even
And
more.
you ain't
so-
even a sneakerhead.
Exactly.
One of the people you want to see in the street and just slap. You
But you about to be a COVID millionaire at that point.
Yeah, with creases all up in them
I ain't
sneakers.
gonna lie. I tried to get in the queue a few times, just drop the credit card on a pair and just resell it on StockX or something. I was like, let me get an extra
gotta do.
300 real quick for no reason. Like, oh, damn.
That's
I
why
ain't
they didn't get
it's
them
lucrative, it's
them LeBrons, man. Sid was in the queue.
trying to buy the Yeezys one time, had my phone, had the laptop, another computer. They didn't work
Nothing,
out.
eh?
Yeah.
That's alright, bro. But moving on to a little funnier, I guess a little funnier view of the whole COVID situation. You guys ever hear? You guys hear about that kid recently? This 5-year-old kid who was pulled over on the highway on the way to California from I think Utah. And when the cops pulled him over, he told them he was on his way to California to cop a Lamborghini.
Stop.
He had $5 in his pocket.
Yo,
and I'm just
he living
like,
his dream at 5, man.
right? And I'm just like, there's some crazy stuff going on, but people are probably going crazy now. If they're doing 5-year-old kids driving on his way to California trying to cop a Lamborghini. Like, what's
Hey,
going
follow
on?
your dreams, young
they
fella.
said he had $5, but realistically, he had his dad's black card ready to just boom, like, yo, I'm out of here with this Lambo, bro. Like, what you doing?
Yeah.
But I feel like just kids be wilding these days. Like, what would you do if that was your child? Like, how would you even handle that
The
situation?
backhand from the heavens above, bro.
On me.
Ah!
Another thing we have to keep in mind is like we also have never been kids in a pandemic. Because imagine us with all the energy we had when we were kids and wanting to run around and everything, and now throw us in a house and you're stuck there and like it's like don't leave, you can't do anything. It's like wow, like
But I think these new generation kids would be alright because half the time they on an iPad or an old
That is
iPhone
true.
anyway, so they're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
just be
true.
like,
Yeah. They ain't got no interest in being outside.
they don't run around and frolic like we used to back in the day, man.
In that case, no one can get mad at this kid because he's being entrepreneurial. He's about to
that's
buy a
what I
Lambo
was
with
gonna say.
$5.
Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams,
You know
young
what I
fella.
It's like, can his feet even reach the pedal and the steering wheel
Oh,
at the
man.
same time? He's probably
Yeah.
driving standing up. Just hit this gas, hit this brake, hit this
The
gas.
thing is, the fact that this little kid had a plan, he had he had some money, he knew how he was going to drive the vehicle, he knew
Took
where he
his
was
parents'
going.
van.
Back,
So
Planned
then,
the whole
he-
trip.
back then, $5 could have probably got you a Lambo. Now you
The upside to that is that he had a plan.
Yeah,
he knew
he
where he
did.
was going. He know where he wanted to get, and he knew he was going to get there. So
like, did he put it in
off the back of that,
GPS?
it's it's just building and probably like end of the day, chastising him ain't gonna do much.
Yeah.
You got to see the fact that he was willing to take that step, and you got to like nurture that and turn it into something else.
I'm just
That's a
wondering,
positive you can
like,
take out of it.
Did he look at maps? Was he using GPS? He could have been on the highway going to like Kentucky or Tennessee or something.
See, these are the questions.
Leading the other direction.
These are the questions the reporter should have been asking instead of
Word.
like painting this picture of this kid doing wild stuff. They shouldn't be like, "How'd you figure out how to do this? How'd you even know you're going in the right direction?" These
I
are the
stick
type
to
of
my
questions you should have
story
been
that this kid is going places in life, man. This is that's a kid with a plan.
asking. We don't need to check up on him in like 10, 15 years. See
Exactly.
what
Exactly.
You're gonna
That's
need
an
a couple
entrepreneur in
backhands
the
before you
making.
go anywhere else, though.
Right.
Can I ask what race this boy was? Can I ask that? Does it go without saying, or like?
Oh no. Actually, he was actually Caucasian.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
This man said Caucasian, man.
You know, I'm just happy it wasn't something else, I guess.
But you know, kids up to a certain age are all the same.
They're all the same.
They don't really have a preference for certain things until they get to a certain age and they realize that I'm black or I'm white or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, you move into your certain cultures or whatnot. But before that, I kind of feel like loads of young kids they're all the same.
You just do the stuff that
Rock,
that comes to your mind.
You want, man, because at 5 years old, I definitely did not even know what a Lambo was. So there's different conversations happening in that house.
Yeah, that's just a new age, though. I'm just talking in terms of the stuff that kids would do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would get, say, for instance, I watch a lot of YouTube, as I was saying before, and I'll watch these downhill mountain bikers, right?
Yeah,
and they'll downhill on a mountain in snow.
Yeah.
And when you look at who's actually going downhill on a mountain, I don't see too many black guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. When you get to a certain age, you would do more extreme things. I feel if you're from a different background,
Right.
For sure.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. If
I
that's
just
true,
like
but
the
it's
fact that he was going somewhere that, you know, he had it all mapped out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Marqueeze,
And,
we talked about, like, in the past about, like, this video of this kid on Instagram that crashed his grandma's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
there was the one black kid
I think
who
his name was
Yeah.
Milton or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, he stole his
That's what I'm
grandma's
saying.
van. Stole his grandma's van, drove it down the street. He picked up his friend actually, drove it down the street, crashed it.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the same SHIT, but just a different shade.
yeah.
And here's
It's
the
the
funny
same
part,
thing,
man.
though. You know.
Here's the funny part. When the reporter asked him, he's like, "Why did you do all this stuff?" He's like, "Hey man, I just want to do Hooter stuff with my friends." I'm just like,
And
yeah,
that's
man.
the difference, man.
That's the difference right
Yeah.
there.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, man.
But
It's
bad
something
kids
is-
will be bad.
It's stuff they see on TV, though, right?
Yeah. Must have been playing a lot of
Exactly.
Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Good old
Anyways,
Florida.
yeah, man. Anyways, moving on. We're just gonna move into this section where I'm gonna tell all you guys a little bit more about who Marqueeze really is. And as you already may have guessed, my real name is Marqueeze, but I spell it with 3 E's before the Z on my IG. I actually legally changed my name back in 2019. How this name came about, one of my good friends, Jobu, aka Joseph, he actually gave me this name back in 2019. We used to work together. He was a really good friend to actually all of us. And I don't even recall exactly how it happened. I just know me, Jobu, and Juju used to hang out a lot. And, you know, they had their own little nicknames, Juju, Jobu, and it's like Juju, Jobu, and Mark. Yeah, them three. But but I think out of nowhere, Jobu just started calling me Marcus or Marqueeze or Marquise. And then it just developed into Marqueeze, I think.
It just kind of stuck.
It kind of just stuck from there, and like that's just.
I thought it was to do with the business transaction that you had going on.
Well, that's the not safe for work version.
I
So,
thought-
yeah,
I thought you were about to start dancing like Marquise Houston is like, oh, you got served. Oh.
he was actually a very good musician. I might just throw that in.
Wasn't that Marcus Houston though?
It's
Hey.
Marquis.
You
We'll
say
look it up.
Marquise
We'll look it up.
Houston. You say Marquise though.
We'll look
Sorry,
it up.
Mark, go ahead.
But yeah, other than that, you know, I'm just about to enter my late 20s. I'm originally from Toronto, and I'm currently living in Western Canada. I moved out here just before the whole coronavirus situation started. I do work in Western Canada, which is pretty much why I ended up moving. I am a huge fan of soccer. I love Manchester City, which is my favorite team.
Football. Get it
I-
right.
Right. That's my bad. That's my bad. I just got checked. I just
learn
got
your
checked.
sport,
You ain't gonna say Manchester United and say soccer. Come on.
Manchester City, bro. But yo, all right, it's football. It's football. It is my favorite sport. It's actually the sport I've always played from a young age. I do watch the NBA as well. Occasionally, I do watch the Raptors. Hometown team and all that. Actually, fun fact is I don't know how to play basketball. I never really learned how to play. Yeah, man, I'm not good at basketball.
You just put the ball
We
in the
used
hoop.
to.
All right. I know to pick
Marqueeze.
you last one.
Exactly. Yo, Marqueeze brought up the idea with us, and he was like, "Yo, we should go hoop one day." And we would always go hoop, and this man would never come. But he's the one that brought up the damn idea.
Hey, man, I was trying to bring everybody together, man. Doesn't mean I have to be here.
Oh my god.
No, but on the real though, I can do a little hoop, a little shoot. I can shoot, but when it comes
The
to
way you just said that last sentence.
A little
He
hoop.
just
Shoot?
described
Who says that?
the way he just described the jump. Like, nah, bro, it's over.
Nah, you ain't
Anyways,
got no game, dog.
Now we getting off track. Back to the point. I love the Raptors. I do watch the NBA. I don't watch NHL, MLB. Sorry to people who hockey and baseball fans, but it is what it is. I'm also an avid video gamer. Love playing video games. Love playing FIFA, Call of Duty, all that. If you want to
Catch us in the gulag.
Yeah, in the gulag, yo.
See me in the
DM me your
gulag.
gamer tags. You guys want to play anytime?
Mark
But
always
on a more
does the
serious
slide.
note-
It's easy to kill him.
Because I'm always sliding over cars when I shoot.
Okay,
I
Bobby.
think that I'm Tom Cruise.
It's like, oh, came to New York and got some New York
You
like
already know.
okay.
He's coming out soon though. Free Bobby
Coming
Schmurder.
out, yeah, free Bobby.
Career-wise, I'm an aspiring CPA. I've worked in the accounting industry in the past, about 4 years, and at various companies. One of the companies I worked at is where I met my good friends here. To get where I am today, I would say was mostly due to my schooling. My schooling was mainly accounting focused, so my path was kind of set out as to what I wanted to do. How I landed there was more of like a parent decision. My parents kind of just guided me in the direction that they thought was best, and you know what? I was like, you guys know a lot more than I do about all this, and like as we went along, I got to understand why they wanted me to go in this field, the different opportunities that it can open up for me, and this is where we're at today. Like I said earlier, I'm still pursuing my CPA, hopefully to be completed by May 2020, or rather will be completed by May 2021, sorry. And just have 2 more exams left. Looking forward to get that out the way. I have had some obstacles come my way, deal with work, dealing with school. Usually is not a good mix, but you gotta get it done one way or another, so I'd say, I guess one other thing that's helped me get to where I am today is having my family around me. It's interesting I say that because I actually haven't really lived together with my family in a while. Like, we've always been separated, logistically speaking, but I've always had them around me. They're always a call away. They're always supportive, and even when I made my decision to come out to Western Canada where I didn't know anybody, at the end of the day, I still had my family. So when times get lonely or times get a little tough, I got someone I can call for support, things like that. In addition to that, actually, friends is another thing that's very important to me. That's helped me get to where I am today. Thing is, you always got to keep a good circle around you, and you know what they say: you can always tell a person's character, but by looking at who their friends are. Like keeping with the right crowd, keeping with the right people.
Shit, you done a shitty job at that then.
Speak for yourself,
man.
Juju. Speak for yourself,
man.
bro.
Oh, bro.
Squad, bro.
if y'all ever seen me out on the Toronto streets with these guys, I apologize. That's definitely not me.
There's nothing good happening after that.
There's nothing good about that combination happening. But on the real though, I have a great group of friends here, and I'm really glad to be doing this podcast with them. To give you a little bit, maybe give you a little perspective about who we are and what we do. And hopefully we can create something great together. You know. But other than that, that's a little background of who I am. And now that we got this free time, working from home, fortunate enough to work from home, I'm really glad to be on this podcast journey, get this going. You know, I'm excited for all the big things that are about to come up, and we hope you, as our listeners, join us for the ride. You know, it's gonna be great.
That's real. That's real.
Definitely.
Make me cry, dog.
We don't get a little emotional here. No, but Marqueeze, like talking about the podcast, what would you say has like what is your motivation behind wanting to start the podcast? Like what makes you want to do this thing?
No, that's a good question, man. I think even from a young age, I've always wanted to, you know, create content and produce something that other people can enjoy. I'll let you guys know a little secret about me. I actually had a YouTube channel back in the day where I used to play. I used to post gameplay videos of this one game I used to play called Hacksball. Shout out to all the Hacksball fans. I used to.
Game of my life.
Yeah, I know it's a low key game. Nobody knows about it, and that's why it's a secret. But
bro, I need to find this channel.
You're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it.
I'm finding this channel as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah.
So no,
Posting it right in the comments of this podcast.
Here's the story, though. Here's the story. I was actually very good, very decent at this game, like one of the top players, and that's why I did do those videos and I put them out. You know, get feedback within that community. Of course, it wasn't large that other people could see it. But you know, ever since then, I was like, this is kind of interesting. I feel good putting stuff out that people, you know, enjoy looking at or listening to. So main motivations for this podcast, I'd say, is like we spoke before. We want to make a podcast where people can gain something other than, you know, laugh at our jokes and listen to our funny stories. You know, they can gain something that can help them in their lives. And I think I'm down to just put in work, get some content out, teach someone something new, and even if I'm not teaching them something new, give them a different perspective on how to use on their views on something, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's pretty much it, man.
For sure.
Cool.
All right.
What else you guys got?
See, in the last podcast we was watching, you ain't have these spectacles on, and I'm really wondering what possessed you to get these spectacles, dog.
You know, man, honestly, it's just it was more of a style change, you know. Like if you see me with my old glasses, actually I don't have them because I broke them. So I've been without glasses for the last maybe 4 months.
Did you break them on purpose?
No, actually I sat on them by mistake. I had them like under my bed and I just sat on it, and I just heard that crunch and my life like flashed before my eyes.
Got the ill point Dexter look right now. I'm like, what's going on here?
And this is when COVID just started, so like I couldn't even go to the eye doctor because I was like, I ain't trying to catch the corona. Anyways, so I've been surviving off contacts or just no glasses. And when I saw these, actually after I got my eye exam, I was like, you know what, these kind of look fresh. I'm gonna let you guys let me know in the comments if they look fresh or not. But
he trying to get his drip right, man.
I'm trying to be like you, Juju. Come on.
Chill, I'm trying to be like
get it like you.
I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up.
But yeah, man, it's just a style change. That's all it is. Bring something new, something fresh. Look fresh for the podcast. That's about it, man.
Yeah.
You should have brought the gold chain out on them too.
What gold chain,
bro? That would have been a little too much.
That's next week, dog.
It ain't coming to mail yet, y'all. It's on the way.
It's on the OTW. What up, Rock?
Yeah. I gotta say, them new glasses, they were upgrade.
Thanks, my G.
I gotta say, you stepped into another
echelon.
Yeah, the upper echelon, you know.
Yeah, you know how we do.
Good job, man. Good job.
Paradigms and whatnot. Okay.
Hey, seeing things from another perspective now behind them shades.
That's it, man.
I can see clearly now.
That's actually how I felt when I first put them on. I was like, wow. See the world in a whole different light now.
It's like, that's how that looks? Oh, my God.
Yeah, dog.
4K. Yeah,
4K.
Yo, Marqueeze, actually,
What up?
before we jump into, because we have questions from our Instagram followers too, but before we jump
word.
into that, I had a quick question, and it's just like, what advice would you give to someone that wants to follow this journey of wanting to become a CPA? What I guess, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Actually, that's a good question, man. Actually, for those who don't know, the CPA is a it's a designation you can obtain called a chartered professional accountant, and basically what it demonstrates is that you have the knowledge to basically achieve more or take on more work or do more. It gives you an edge over someone who has just done an undergraduate degree. It gives you the next level of knowledge that you need to succeed and move further in your career. Any advice I'd provide to them, I'd say something that I wish I knew is definitely ask questions. Try to find someone who has gone through the process to kind of understand and give you kind of like a rundown of what it really means. How do you actually navigate through this process? How do you actually write these exams? Basically, what you need to succeed. I wish I knew that at the start. I wouldn't have stumbled as much as I did. And other than that, I'd have to give them the usual: just don't give up. It's a long, tedious process. It's a long, tedious process. That's for sure. You will have roadblocks along the way. Don't be afraid of failure, because next best thing to failure is getting back up, and doing it all over again and succeeding. That would be basically my advice, man. As simple as it is.
To piggyback on that, is CPA Canada only thing, or is that international? So if I work in like London, could I use that kind of thing, or what's up?
So actually, Canada has its own version of the Chartered Professional Accountant certification or designation. The U.S. has its own. It gets a little confusing because different regions have different rules that they follow. But a more broad one is the ACCA, which is internationally recognized. So let's say you want to work in the UK or you want to work any other place in the world, you probably want to get the more, general designation, so that it's all it is just adaptability. It's easier for you to adapt to different rules in different areas if you have the general one. Whereas you have the CPA, Canadian CPA, which is just geared to Canadian rules. It might not be as useful when you move down to the States.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But this, I know the CPA is called the same thing in Canada and in the US, but they're completely different, right?
Right.
Different
Okay,
bodies.
got it.
So it's just the main difference is just the accounting rules. Like U.S. general accounting, generally accepted accounting principles are different from what we use here in Canada. So that's basically the main difference.
Got it.
Gotcha.
All right, man.
All right,
Let's see what our viewers, what our followers want to know about you. The first question I have here that I found kind of interesting is: would you rather live with your parents or never have pizza again?
That's a funny question, actually, because
Oh boy.
it's sad because I'm kind of sad answering this question because I actually love Hawaiian pizza. I love pineapple on my pizza. Like, I can't live without pineapple on my pizza.
Let's end this episode. That's a
Viewers, we
no-no,
apologize for that.
Nah, man, y'all ain't living if you ain't had pineapple on your
man.
pizza,
Watch out, man.
I'm a fan of the pineapple here and there.
I could do that.
That's
heck
what I'm saying.
With it.
So, but the reason why I said that actually though, now that I've lived on my own for quite a bit, it's gonna be a little hard to like move back in with my parents and live under a house's rules. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, the freedom.
I've developed my own routine. I've developed my own schedule. It's gonna be hard to like go back to my parents' house and try to live under their rules. Something as simple as what are you eating for dinner? Like, what are you eating for breakfast? What are you eating for lunch? Food is so important to me that I can't eat what they eat. Like, I have my own routine set up for me that I have to eat certain things on certain times, and like I just want to stick to that. I don't want to conform and eat what. Even though it's great, I'd love to have my mom cook for me every day, but sometimes I'm just like, there's specific things that I want and I want to keep in my diet that I just want to stick.
Yeah.
But in general, man, I'm not moving back to my parents' house.
You see, as you were saying that now, a question just popped into my head. So,
Word.
how about if they said, "Oh yeah, you can come back home. We want you to come back home, and you can keep all your earnings." You going back then?
See, now it's a different story. Because,
I just trying to figure out,
money's an important motivator.
Yeah.
So if I could keep my earnings, I think I might do it for a little bit, but it can't be like a long-term situation. It's got to be like max like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard adjustment.
I thought he was gonna say 2-3 months. You said years. It's a long-term commitment to me.
I feel like I can handle it. I can handle it for 2-3 years. But after that, I'm be like, I'm out, man. I gotta get my own house.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a good point, man. Saving money is key. So all the kids out there, stay at home and save your money.
Yeah,
On me, I always tell. That's why one advice I give people: hey, if you can live at home for as long as you can.
I still live home. Granted, I'm paying all the bills, so my situation is different. But
yeah. Because that adult joint is not. Yeah. It's overrated.
It is overrated.
Adult thing is overrated.
I always used to think to myself, I'm going to stay home for years, and then it just got to one. Within 2 weeks, I left home. That was it. I was out.
This guy's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Word. What else the IG fam got for me?
I got one. The people want to know. The Instagram people want to know what happened on the night where you were a powdered donut, man. What was the dealio with that?
The dealio? What night was this? I don't remember, man. I wasn't even there. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Should I drag this in the frame, or are we gonna edit this in post?
From what I heard, you a ghost. So yeah.
Homie was looking what? Like Casper.
I'm gonna need you to refresh me. You should pull that picture up.
Yeah, we got this.
Oh, you don't want me to do that? Oh, okay. All right.
You're gonna have to drag it in the frame later, but. Yeah, anyways, so on this alleged night out that I'm allegedly in this photo, we don't know if it's me or not. We're going to have to go.
Okay.
He said we don't know if it's me or not.
But if it was me, this is what I thought happened. Actually, this is actually what really happened. So it was a night out with Marqueeze and his boys, going out for a little drink, have a good time, celebrate, have a good time, So on this night, I left the house without putting any lotion on, and it was dead of winter. And you know what happens to black men in the dead of winter with no lotion on?
Yeah, winter nights in Canada.
Yeah, you walk out the door, it slaps you like a just a 5-hand slap, like, And so what happened though is that we got the club and we were having fun, whatever, and as usual we were gonna pose for some pics at some point. So we pulled up for some pics. I had my little fit on, my little hand sign, everything, and we took a little pic. And post pic, we look at the picture, and my face is all white. And I'm telling you, the reason why it was all white is because my face was just chapped, man. Like, it was cold. I was very ashy. I was just really, really ashy, man. Like, and
you gotta keep that cocoa butter on you.
You gotta keep that cocoa butter on hand. And ever since then, that's what I've done. Ever since then, I was like, I gotta have my own pack of cocoa butter because you never know what might go down.
Yeah, that's what I love about you, man. You're someone that learned from your mistakes, man.
And that's what it is. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Shame no one taught you the lesson.
Like Bill Cosby.
Hey, man, if y'all don't believe me, leave a comment if you think.
Yeah, what y'all think happened?
Yeah.
Put the picture up one more time so they can see.
All right, I'm gonna drag it in. Oh my God, this is. Oh my God, it's too bad. This is Marqueeze, guys. This is Marqueeze.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment when the problematic crew is out in the town, bro.
Here he goes. Oh my god.
This is not the
Yeah,
Joker.
bro.
This is not the Joker and Batman edition. No.
All right, man. Moving on. What else you guys got for me?
All right, so one of the questions I got from Instagram is, why are you guys called the Problematic Four? I guess that's up to
Word.
you to answer now.
Word.
All eyes
that's
on you.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
And just for context, like we used to be called the Problematic Four. Now we're now the Problematic Cookout. So, but yeah, you can kind of explain why.
Yeah.
Where the problematic name came from.
So the problematic name, as I recall, came from these group of guys hanging around, causing problems everywhere they go. Every time they hang out, it's just ridiculousness ensues. I think it all started when me, Juju, and Jobu, we used to work together, and we get in trouble at work for taking breaks together, hopping over to McDonald's at like 3 p.m. grabbing a small fries and coming back to work and eating it on our desks. So we used to do that for every now and then, and management got caught wind of it and gave us a hard time.
He said management got wind of it.
They probably smelt it at that point.
Like,
but,
we had to bring this up with HR, and it's not cool, man.
Guys with
Yeah.
fries.
So we used to do like random things like that. And actually another thing is whenever we'd go out together, let's say to a party, we'd always be just chilling together, just causing a ruckus, cracking the jokes. Everyone's just looking around like, who are these guys? Who invited them? We don't really care though. We're just messing around. I think Juju can attest to that.
Yeah, I feel like, but we also tried to turn it into something positive, right? So
yeah,
like,
we did turn. So, yeah.
we not like our persona of like being problematic and being a problem. It's just like kind of us and just us not fitting into this box of like, oh, here's what's politically correct when you go to a party or when you go here and when you go there. And that's how we approach life, is that we're not always going to fit in this box of like, oh, here's how you have to live life, because we're going to live our best lives. We're going to stay within the constraints of like obviously what's legal and what's somewhat socially acceptable, but like at the same time, like we want to live life to the fullest. We want to have the best time. We don't just want to have an okay time. We want to have the best time as we live life. And we want to encourage people to live life like 100% and to take full advantage of it. So,
and that's it.
Yeah.
It's all about just making your own fun, like making something your own. Like if you don't like how things are done, put your own spin on it.
yeah,
Make it work for
exactly.
you. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how the problematic came about.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. My question is, Marqueeze, tell us what the best mac and cheese you've ever had is.
Oh man, the best mac and cheese, bro. The best mac and cheese. I've had mac and cheese once in my life. I'll admit that. I've had it once, and I think that's my bar for the best mac and cheese. And that's gotta be Kraft Dinner.
Oh no!
Good
old KD
he did it.
mac and cheese.
Stop. I was really waiting for like, at least maybe that one mac and cheese was fire.
Word.
That's what it said.
Pineapple on the pizza,
what's wrong with
not
KD?
Kraft mac and cheese, bro.
What's
Bro,
wrong
we
with KD,
done.
man?
This man eat pineapple on pizza and has KD as his bar for mac and cheese. And then he has the audacity to say that food is important to him.
I know, right?
Stop.
Jesus Christ.
That's a disrespect,
It's
bro.
all. Oh my God.
Okay, so this is one problem we gotta fix, right?
Contradicting everything.
Yeah.
You can't
All
come
right,
to you can't be a part of the Cookout podcast and not have mac and cheese.
Yeah, how you gonna be on the podcast
Just
that's
imagine
called
if
the
you-
Cookout?
Just imagine if you pulled up with that Kraft Dinner
Oh my God.
mac and cheese.
You just
Like,
close the door on them. It's like, yo, you're not even allowed. You can't
Oh
do
man,
6
it's
episodes, bro.
it's like that.
This man said
it's like
Kraft?
that.
Oh,
Bro, we
man.
gotta get somebody grandma to cook some mac and
Bro,
cheese for
just
Marqueeze.
powdered
Yo.
water and Stale noodles, bro. Like, what is that?
Bruh.
Mac and cheese.
All right,
Is
man.
serious,
I need you guys
man.
to show me the way. That's the thing. I'm new. I'm new to this mac and cheese game, so y'all gotta show me what's good.
Man, it's a craft, bro.
Yeah, man. That shit's stressful,
It's like, I
man.
feel like I'm the bad friend now. Like, I heard me.
On me, like I've never allowed this. I've never made
But
this
now we
man
gotta
order
take
mac and
Marqueeze
cheese.
to a spot to get mac and cheese. He all the way out west and whatnot.
Damn, you
Hey,
gonna have to, man.
Hey, everybody, comment the best mac and cheese you can find in a restaurant so we can order it for Marqueeze. Cause like,
Yeah, we have to make a list, man.
Try
yeah,
and airdrop it to him or something.
Yeah.
Christ.
Get this shit
Alright.
on Amazon or something.
Yeah, right.
All right, now that y'all done making fun of me, what else we got?
The people would also like to know. There's a question from Instagram. What is your top 5 anime? Because it seems that you are an anime fan. You ain't even mentioned that. So what's your top 5?
Man,
people
you know,
gonna expose you like that, huh?
The thing about that though is like anime is like really close and dear to my heart. You know,
Okay.
like this is the stuff that I watched as a kid, and I still watch till this day.
To this day.
To all the people who have actually never seen anime and think it's a kids it's a kids show, it's for kids. It's actually not. There's levels to that stuff. There's the kid stuff and there's grown up stuff and super grown up stuff. Like like it's basically, you think about it, just a regular TV show but just animated. And I would highly suggest you give it a try before you knock it. All right. I'd say my top five animes. I'll just in no particular order. I'm say Bleach,
Okay.
Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Berserk, and I'm sure I've left a lot of great ones out there. So for this 5th one, I'm gonna just have to toss it to let's see here. Devilman Crybaby. I know, Rock. I know you just heard that, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Devilman Crybaby.
Some of the
Right.
names be a little unique in the
Some of the
anime
names
world.
are unique, but you know, you gotta you gotta peel back the layers, man. There's a lot of stuff to unpack with these anime shows, man.
Okay.
Trust me. We have to do a little Netflix party so I can show you guys either either anime movie or just like an episode of an anime show that I really
Word.
like.
Yeah, I started at the
it's just-
Boondocks and I stopped there. That was it.
Yeah,
Man, barely hit the iceberg, bro.
barely hit the iceberg, man. But yeah, man. Those are my top 5 animes. It's hard to make a top list because all animes are good, but those are what I can
Nah,
pick
there's
up
some
for now.
trash
Yeah.
animes out there.
There are
You
some
can't
trash
say-
animes,
can't
but
say
you know
all
what I
animes
mean.
are good.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
There's some basura out there.
I bet.
All right, I got a question for you from IG. So Mark, what or who is your biggest inspiration and why?
Word. That's a good question. I'd say one of my biggest inspirations is my pops. My pops kind of went through a lot to make basically my life better, my family's life better. Originally, I'm from Kenya, and he basically pioneered or engineered our move from Kenya to Canada. You know, for us to go to school, live a better life than what we could have had back home. But the fact that he's gone through a lot of struggles just to get us here, and he's persevered all this time, still persevering now, to be honest. I feel like he's my biggest inspiration, someone that I look up to. Whenever I'm struggling with things and I'm just like, how does this compare to that? If he could do that, like, why can't I do this? That's kind of something I kind of just like look at sometimes, and it keeps me going. It's like, keeps me pushing on to, to do better, to be honest. Yeah, he's definitely my biggest inspiration.
Yeah, he don't want to live with him.
You can still be influential from afar. It's
From
fine.
afar, the phone.
Yeah, that'd be like me. Get out.
That's it, bro.
As I did.
Look at you,
Yep.
flap your wings and be free, dog.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I know that your dad will be proud to hear that. You know,
Exactly,
saying
exactly.
that because that's the same thing. I would feel that way if my son and daughter said the same thing about me. So yeah, respect for that. Man.
We gonna send him the link once this podcast uploads. Send it directly to him.
I don't think we should do that, but yeah.
Be like, check your boy out. Pineapple pizza.
Yo, is that my
Kraft
son?
mac
What are
and
those
cheese.
glasses he's wearing?
The problematic
Why does he look
3
like
after
that?
this.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so you're Kenyan.
Yes.
So 1,500 meters. What's your quickest time?
Oh. You called
Barefoot
me
of
out.
sneakers, bro.
1,500 meters. You know what? I'm gonna just pull my stats real quick since you asked.
Oh yeah,
Now that you're a runner.
Bust out the phone.
He's Kenyan for real.
He was like,
That's
I
what I'm
need
saying.
the stats real quick.
Nah, as I told you guys last week, I only started running like literally like when COVID started.
Yeah.
Before that, I wasn't really a runner. 1,500 meters. Actually, sadly, I haven't done a 1,500 meters yet.
Ooh.
You slow.
Actually, no, I have. No. Hold on. The longest run I've done is actually a 10K, and my time on that was, let me just pull it up. What's it?
Yeah, but 10K and 1,500 meter sprint are like two completely different times.
I know.
dog.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That thing is not gonna look right.
I haven't done the 1,500 meters yet. I will though.
Okay.
For time, but I say the furthest run that I've done for the fastest time is I did a 10K in 59 minutes. So that's like my benchmark. I'll do an individual 1,500 run later and give you Sid I'll give Sid a little.
Oh no! Oh, I don't run. I don't claim I run. All right, I am the last runner ever on this, especially on this podcast.
Yeah, nah. But yeah, that I am working towards long distance running. It's something that I've started to like more recently. Before that, I wasn't really a big fan. I love watching it. I love watching other people kill those races. But for myself, it's something to work up to for sure.
So if you go back home, you gotta prove that, right? You done.
And that's another thing, because back home they have the altitude training, so they can run at high altitudes. As soon as they come on out like sea level, they just speed past you. But yeah, for sure, when I'm going back home, nobody's showing me up. I'm gonna be up in there. Yeah, bro.
Like, don't let the glasses fool you. I
Fool
will
you.
dust you, bro.
Soon times.
Yeah, you can wrap it up, Marqueeze.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for all those questions from the IG fam, and we're about to wrap this one up actually. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Definitely leave a comment, like, subscribe, and actually don't stop there. Follow us on Instagram at The Problematic Cookout. And on the next episode, we're gonna have Juju tell us about his athletic feats.
Foots.
And his current current life story, his current career as an elite salesman. And
Elite
feats and elite. There you go.
Bring out the big words. But yeah, make sure you tune in next time. And that was it, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Cookout. We're signing out, and it's peace.
Smoking.
deuces.
Catch you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Is it on go, or is it on 3, or is it on 1?
Problematic.
I'm Marqueeze.
Problematic. Cookout podcast. Here, Sido in the building. Problematic.
It's your boy Juju.
Problematic Cookout podcast. Problematic.
Yo, what did my man just say?